All right, let's go ahead and start with the first bit of news, which shouldn't really be news, but we have to go ahead and acknowledge this because Kyle Shanahan was asked about it like 80 times this week. Who's going to be the starting quarterback this week? Well, it's officially Nick Mullens. Surprise, surprise. This doesn't shock me at all. There is no surprise Nick Mullens being the quarterback, but there were a lot of fans, including people on the 49er Report YouTube channel down below in the comment section, who wanted CJ Beathard to go ahead and get a shot based on the performance we've seen and really the turnovers of Nick Mullens over the past couple of weeks. As I've said before, Jimmy Garoppolo not ready to go yet. If Garoppolo is going to play at all this year, it'll be, or at all at the end of the year, it's going to go ahead and be week 16 against the Cardinals or week 17 against the Seahawks. But right now, it will continue to be Nick Mullens, and I think it'll be Nick Mullens going forward until Garoppolo is either ready to go or the season is officially over. Here was Kyle Shanahan just yesterday when asked about Nick Mullens, say, quote, "I plan on Nick starting. We've always see what goes on in practice, but Nick's the guy who will start out with, and we'll see how it goes. Backup quarterbacks, if they play too long, people aren't going to like them very much because backup quarterbacks aren't the starter." Very well said, Kyle Shanahan. This is what happens a lot of times. You get a backup quarterback in there, then perform very well, and we all go, "Oh my gosh, why is he so terrible?" And then you kind of think about it, wait a second, he's a backup quarterback just like their other backup quarterback on this team being CJ Beathard. I'll ask you guys this. Who do you want to start? We already know it's Nick Mullens, but are you one of the ones who wants CJ Beathard to be the starting quarterback of this football team? Type CV down below, type NM down below for Nick Mullens. I'll be honest. Listen, I don't think Nick Mullens was absolutely garbage against the Washington football team. I mean, not great. The completion percentage way down. Did have the bad interception. Yeah, the fumble as well. He needs to play better, and I understand that, and you understand that, but I think he's a better overall quarterback and better overall player than a CJ Beathard. And I'll be honest, I thought he played very, very well in the Bills game. Yes, he threw those 2 interceptions. I don't think either of those 2 interceptions were really his fault. I don't think that was necessarily 100% the issue right now with Nick Mullens, but I think the Washington football game definitely started to create a little bit of doubt with some fans, which is why we're starting our show off with this discussion about Nick Mullens starting, and Kyle Shanahan had to go ahead and tell everybody, at the press conference that they were going to go ahead and roll with Nick Mullens. The question really is, will Garoppolo be back anytime soon, or is this Nick Mullens' job for the final 3 games of the year with the current playoff predicament right now and San Francisco is in? I think we can really sit back and kind of go, you know what? I would keep going with Mullens. I would continue to ride with Nick Mullens. I just have no real trust or faith in CJ Beathard. Like, what's CJ Beathard going to do? Has Beathard done anything in his limited amount of starting time to prove to you it's like, oh, CJ Beathard is leagues better than Nick Mullens? No, Mullens is one of the better backup quarterbacks in the National Football League. We all know this. We all understand this. I've said this many, many times, but he's still a backup quarterback, which means he's not going to play very well. And that's, of course, what Kyle Shanahan was telling the media here just a couple of days ago. Again, I'm not saying that he's been fantastic the past 4 weeks. I thought he was really, really good in the Bills game, minus the 2 interceptions, both of which really weren't his fault. I think the Rams game, of course, game that they won, didn't throw a touchdown pass, but didn't turn the ball over too many times. The Saints game was kind of an issue with the 2 turnovers. And I understand turnovers being an issue, but I think they're going to continue to ride with Nick Mullens. And obviously that's what Kyle Shanahan said in his press conference, and we'll see what happens on Sunday. If they start getting blown out, then maybe you go to Beathard, but it's not really going to help because they're already getting blown out. Okay, we mentioned this a couple of days ago, but here's the update again on George Kittle. He is at practice and has been practicing this week so far with the 49ers after they opened that 21-day practice window for him on Wednesday. Still unlikely to play on Sunday, dealing with the injury suffered in week 8. It feels like forever ago, but really not that many weeks ago. But he still feels very confident that he's going to go ahead and play at some point towards the end of the year. Apparently, the team was weighing their playoff chances along with the decision to go ahead and play him. I think if they were to lose on Sunday, Kittle won't play the rest of the year. Same with Jimmy Garoppolo if he were ever healthy. If they lose and officially eliminate themselves from postseason contention, which they kind of already are, but 9 losses, you know what I mean, then he'll be sitting for the rest of the year. But if they win, maybe he comes back for the Cardinals and Seahawks game. As long as he's 100%, throw him out there. I don't care. If he's not ready, don't rush him because honestly, like I said, they don't really need him. What do you guys think? Should Kittle play? I think that they need him to play. Type P down below for play. Type R down below for rest. They sneak into the postseason, obviously play. But if not, then just roll with the younger guys. Let the younger guys get the reps, and we'll get ready for 2021 as a lot of Niner fans are feeling the exact same way. Even with Kittle missing all of these games, he's still the 3rd leading receiver on this football team. It's kind of crazy to think about because right now, you think about how good Brandon Aiyuk has been, and then there's Kendrick Bourne, but Deebo, Richie James, George Kittle, all of them have missed a significant amount of games. And so we're looking at a scenario where Brandon Aiyuk, with 110 yards receiving last week, is probably going to finish, clearly by this chart right here, as a leading receiver for the 49ers, something you and I would not have expected or predicted at the very start of the year. So, like we said, no Kittle against the Cowboys. That's just kind of expected. Hopefully they don't need George Kittle to beat the Cowboys, but you never know with this 49er team. I think the Cardinal game could be a possibility. For sure, the Seattle game, he will be ready based on the reports that I have heard. But again, it's a matter of, do you want to rush him back for a team that's not going to make the postseason, or do they have a shot to make the postseason? Well, winning on Sunday will go a long way towards determining that factor. Here are some other people who did not participate in Wednesday's practice. Raheem Mostert still dealing with that ankle injury. He just cannot get healthy. Deebo, of course, is officially done, most likely for the year with that hamstring injury. And then the guard who went down with the knee injury, he is uncertain for Sunday as well. I would be surprised if any of these guys, I mean, for sure, no Deebo, but Grasu, I always forget how to pronounce his name. Grasu and Mostert, I think, have a very slight chance of playing on Sunday. I would be surprised if Mostert is out there. Your limited guys, it's a longer list. Brunskill, DJ Jones, Fred Warner, Mosley, and K'Wan Williams. Williams has been out the past couple of weeks with that ankle injury. Could play on Sunday, but it's still iffy. I think a good amount of these guys, including the DJ Joneses of the world, the Fred Warners of the world, they should all be good to go. K'Wan Williams is the one I'm going to go ahead, or K'Wan Williams, excuse me, is the one I'm going to go ahead and keep an eye on here because he has not played in a while, and the Niners need a lot of help in the slot. At least they have the past couple of weeks. And listen, they play a Dallas Cowboy team that, yes, is very bad, and yes, you know, it's not a very scary offense with Andy Dalton at quarterback. They still have some good wide receivers. You think about Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and so having a nickel cornerback, a slot cornerback, could be very, very helpful in the Cowboy game. Right now, here are your current odds. 49ers are 3-point favorites. That has gone down a little bit. The over-under went up to 45.5, as this was the night game, of course, but now they've flexed it out of there, and it will be the Giants and Browns being flexed into the Sunday Night Football game instead of the Cowboys and the 49ers. So let me ask you guys this. Do you think the 49ers will beat the Dallas Cowboys? If you do, give me a thumbs up right now. Hit the thumbs up button if you're feeling confident. Listen, I know we're at a point this year where a lot of people want to tank and they wanted to lose, but I'd be surprised if they lose to the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, Dallas has just been very bad this year. I mean, very not good, as they say. I would smash the like button right now. I want to see how many likes we can get. At least 200. At least 200 of you guys do feel confident, right? The Niners can beat the Cowboys. Really? Like, come on. Give me a thumbs up on this video right now. Also, if you guys want to bet on this football game, I mean, -3 for San Francisco, not bad. You can do it with our friends at BetUS, chesssports.com/49bet. Get that promo code Niners125. Go and use when you use the promo code, you get a 125% deposit bonus to go ahead and turn your $100 into $225 for your betting pleasure. And if you want to bet on some other games, here are my 3 bets of the week. To me, these are absolute locks. How are the Chiefs only -3, only 3-point favorites on the road against a Saints football team that got really handled by a bad Philadelphia Eagles team last week? I don't get that. I'm taking Chiefs -3. Patrick Mahomes is going to win that game by double digits. They're competing for the 1 seed in the AFC. Give me the Chiefs all day long. Philadelphia is +6 at Arizona. Now, I said a bad Eagle team against the Saints, but they did look pretty good. I think Arizona's football team is very, very, I think suspect, against the run. And the Eagles rush for over 200 yards against the New Orleans Saints. Give me Philadelphia +6. And then the Bills on the road against producer Sam's Broncos, -6 against Denver. We think Drew Lock's going to keep this within a touchdown. No, I don't. Buffalo, a lot to play for. I'm going with the Bills -6. These are my bets of the week. Lock them in with our friends at BetUS. Again, chatsports.com/49bet. Use that promo code Niners125. I'm thinking you're going to win some money. You bet on these, so go ahead and jump on those deals right now. If you have any betting questions, by the way, there's an email down somewhere over here, 49ers@chatsports.com. Any betting questions, just go ahead, email us there, and we'll get you guys up to date. And, you know, questions, we'll answer your betting questions. That way you can jump in on the sports betting world. Okay, we mentioned Nick Mullens continuing to be the quarterback. This was an interesting story I read from Niners Nation saying there's some whispers that a lot of wide receivers in the 49er team are frustrated with the current quarterback play and have been frustrated the past couple of weeks. This, to me, is kind of a non-story because you and I have been frustrated with the quarterback play. So, like, obviously they'd be frustrated with the quarterback play, but it could also hint at kind of a larger picture, and that is a new quarterback, not named Garoppolo, not named Mullens or Beathard in 2021. Again, this doesn't just guarantee they're going to draft a quarterback or trade for a quarterback, but I think it does show that the wide receivers believe they can be a lot better than they currently are if they had the right signal caller in there. And certainly Nick Mullens has not been that the past couple of weeks. And I don't think a lot of them are very confident in Jimmy Garoppolo as well, although they would never be the ones to go ahead and tell you that. Listen, whatever happens this offseason, we're going to have you guys covered because it's going to be a very crazy offseason. I do know that. We are your one-stop shop for all things 49ers, so make sure you guys are subscribed down below. Because as soon as the January 3rd game, the Seattle game, is over, if they're not in the postseason, we are deep into free agency. right into the draft and a whole bunch of news and rumors to bat. So go ahead and make sure you guys are subscribed. Okay, here was Niner Nation on the whole wide receiver issue rumor quote. How much does this feeling in the locker room enter into that's Shanahan's thinking about replacing his quarterbacks? Is he going to be handling it more like Bill Belichick as a head coach and completely distance himself from emotion and make an objective decision? Or will he lean more in the opposite direction and make a decision that might be popular with the players? This is a tough call. I mean, think about this. Do you go with what your players don't want, what you know is best for the football team, or do you go for what's best for your players and might also be best for the football team, but it's hard to say. We mentioned the receivers last week. I don't think Brandon Aiyuk has any problems with the current quarterback play because he's been balling out the past couple of weeks. But perhaps Deebo, before he got injured, was in there. Kendrick Bourne, Richie James Jr., Ross Dwelly. These are all guys who are not necessarily top receivers on this football team, but are being thrust into action due to injuries. Either way, I think we can all make the case and assumption that when they're healthy in 2021, it's a good wide receiver group. Look at the depth chart. Deebo, Aiyuk, Bourne, obviously Jalen Hurd, who's been injured, possibly could be there. They could take another wide receiver in the draft. They have a very, very bright and very exciting young wide receiver group, and you just hope they have the right quarterback, whether it's Jimmy Garoppolo or not, to get these guys the football going into the 2021 NFL season. Give me your grade on the 49ers wide receivers in 2020. What do you think about them? Like, when healthy, how good is this group? Is it an A group? Is it a B group, C, D, F? I'm like a B plus to an A minus. I think they're good. They just can't be healthy, and they haven't been able to stay healthy, and that's been an issue all year long. Okay, final thoughts here quickly. Going into the 49er Pro Bowlers, not officially announced, but Pro Football Focus has given us a little sneak peek as they officially put out their list for each team's potential Pro Bowl candidates, and 4 49ers have made the list. And of course, we do understand that whoever does make the Pro Bowl doesn't actually go to the Pro Bowl this year due to COVID. It's like a virtual Madden thing, which I'm sure none of us will watch. But the Pro Bowl overall nod is still a great honor. Here are your Pro Football Focus possible 49er Pro Bowlers. Kyle Juszczyk, fullback, best fullback in the league. That's easy. Trent Williams, a little bit of a surprise here. Has Williams been a Pro Bowl left tackle? I don't know. Fred Warner, 100%. Jimmie Ward, also not a massive surprise as he's been playing well, but not getting a lot of national headlines like you normally see in and around the safety position. There are a lot of other bigger name safeties that people like. We'll start with Juszczyk. Listen, I mean, this guy's a lock at a Pro Bowl every single year because he's really the last great fullback once John Kuhn retired in the National Football League. It's as easy as it gets. He should be a Pro Bowler every year, a great blocker, great catching the football out of the backfield in terms of fullback. Definitely gets the nod, thumbs up right there from me. Trent Williams is the interesting one because he's not been terrible. You technically read only 4 sacks allowed, but I don't think he's been that great. I don't think he's been the best left tackle in the NFC, and certainly not a top 3 left tackle in the NFC, but I'm not Pro Football Focus, and so I can give my own grades. I don't know if I'd give him a Pro Bowl nod, but if he gets it, great. Might make him cost more money in the offseason, but we'll get to that whenever we get to the offseason. Obviously, Fred Warner, best middle linebacker, best young middle linebacker in the National Football League. He is a stud. He is a star. When he went down with an injury last week, I was freaking out, but then just a little stinger. He's fine. Obvious Pro Bowl nod, the best player in this 49er defense. It's not even close, especially when Nick Bosa is out. Finally, Jimmie Ward, a guy who has not had an interception this year, not had a lot of national media praise, but has still been very, very good. And obviously, to me, I think definitely deserves to be a Pro Bowler who they gave a brand new contract in the offseason and paid off so far because he's probably going to get a Pro Bowl nod. Any snubs? Is there anyone that should have made the list that didn't? I can't think of one. They've all been injured. Like Kittle been injured, so he can't make it. Deebo, Garoppolo, Mostert, a lot of the Niner Pro Bowlers from last year are injured, and so I think it makes sense. 4 is probably going to be your number for a mediocre 5-win 49er team.